Quit cap saving, serenading them hoes.
Yo, what's good? It's DJ Thoro, aka Thorozano, the bridge to the streets. Right now, you're watching the hottest in streets, right here on thisis50.com. I got two special guests in the building. First of all, we got Little Thoro in the building. Salute.
My boy.
And I got my man Tone Trump.
The greatest hustler alive, the king of West Philly. Right, you know I'm in the building. The Muslim Don.
Yo, when you say you're the greatest hustler alive,
I mean it.
not even do you mean it, there's proof and evidence of that. This man comes in here with thumb drives, Tone Trump, thumb drives,
Everything.
socks, earbuds.
Everything. Of course, the vapes.
Vapes. I don't even smoke, but he making me want to smoke just to try that shit out.
The vapes is taking over right now, but I'm definitely proud to be here. You know what I'm saying? Being in this office is so inspirational. Being here sitting to talk to you is so inspirational. Being in New York City, the vibe. You know what I mean? It's the pros when you come to New York. You know what I mean? We in this is 50 right now, hottest in the streets only, right? I'm here.
Right.
And when we say greatest hustler alive, I say all the time, everybody that's watching, you know, even when they help, whether you're helping your kids with their homework, whether you deciding a bet, what do people do? They go to Google to get the answer.
Right.
Google greatest hustler alive.
And you come up.
Images, news is me. So I'm not just saying that y'all believe everything else Google say, don't stop now.
That's true, because when I help my son with his homework, when they say 2 times 2, I go to Google.
I do all the time.
And I'm like, look.
I sneak and do it.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, hold on, let me look and
Boy, you don't know that?
That's the same thing. Like.
So don't stop believing Google now. So I am the greatest hustler alive. And when I say hustler, let's not get it twisted. I mean that in the most positive, authentic, inspiring way possible. When I say hustler, I'm not talking about taking advantage. I'm not talking about anything illegal. I'm talking about getting to it. I'm talking about mogulism, if that's a real word. I'm talking about waking up every day, thanking your Lord, hitting that water, throwing on that good smell good. See, I mixed the bond number 9 with the slick water. That's the Islamic oil. Right. And I put it together to give you that Trump life. And then I call Sheer Finesse, you know. G come by 1 in the morning to the condo, get me right. Because I said, you calling yourself the freshest as it is. And I ain't had no cuts, so I had to make sure the beard. You know what I'm saying? And I even got tatted at the crib last night. So shout out to Ski Tattoo. You know, I really turned my crib into a trap house.
Right.
So everything I just like to make sure people know this is a positive, inspiring movement. So when I say, because the word hustler sometimes can be misinterpreted.
Yeah, definitely. Well, listen, I admire your grind. Every time I see you, you're always selling something.
Got to.
Always, like some type of product, a jacket.
Absolutely.
Clippers, beard soap, toothpaste.
Oh, the beard soap's still available.
You already know
247trump.com, thisis50.com, thorough.com. We all winners respect winners, man. We all up here uplifting each other, but I appreciate you noticing that, man.
No, definitely.
And you've been seeing me do this for forever.
Forever. And
we met on the road. We met on the road. You know what I mean? He came to one of my shows. Close brother of mine brought him to one of my shows. I don't know how familiar he was with me then, but since that day, brother been supporting me, playing my records, breaking my records, interviews. So that's what it's about, building. You know what I mean? I get out and meet the DJs. I bring the DJs to me. I go to the DJs. So this ain't just like ain't no you can attest to this. No label rep set this up.
Right.
You know
I was gonna bring that up. Like you're a self-contained unit. Outside of yourself, who's helping you with these business inventions?
Honestly, the first person I gotta give credit to is Allah. You know what I mean? My Lord. I give credit to God because I pray on everything. And then my immediate circle is like, you know what I mean? Like I run everything past my lady. She my biggest critic. That's who's gonna keep it. A woman is always gonna keep it real to you. You know what I mean? So I always, you know, everything before I do the sock, you know what I mean? Before I do anything, I just, you know, what you think. Right. That don't mean I'm always gonna go with what she say, but 90% of the time, I love a woman's opinion. Right. Especially when they beautiful. And of course mine is top 5 dead or alive. Right. You hear me? So that's neither here nor there. You know what I mean? Respect your queen. But you know, my immediate team, like when I think about you know, I just made a brother named Charles Parrish, the president of my company, Top Notch Inc. Okay. So he's somebody who's just aggressively online and aggressively learning new marketing ideas, just bringing me, you know, finding me producers. He does everybody on my team does 100 jobs. I'm in front, you know what I mean? So when I think about that, you know, Ro Nitty, who came home after a 5-year bid, and I initially made him the vice president of my company. Right. Now I've given him a piece of ownership, so he's bossed up. This is me empowering my brothers. When my homies come home, I don't make them shooters, I make them CEOs. You know what I'm saying? My homies is not, you know, I have security. You know, shout out to Big James, he's a part of my team. And I call it the Great Wall of West Philly, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Big James and Big Vince. Taya Simmons, who, you know, she's on her way. That's handles all my filming. And that's my production company, Get Shot by a Girl. I'm grooming a kid named Kasim now. Okay. Young Muslim director from Philly and a photographer. Ben Jacobs is the reason why my graphic arts, if you look at my graphics, always better than everybody's on the internet.
Right.
Not excluding nobody. I'm not talking about just better than the young boy from West Philly that rap. I'm talking about my graphics be better than Puff's.
Right.
My graphics be better than Beats by Dre. I'm just being honest. Like, I go everything. Salute to Ben Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give him the idea, and then we shoot it over the eye socks. I give him the idea, and then we shoot it over the Ninja Vapes. You know, my logo. You know, everything.
Right.
I learned that from 50. I learned that when you always see Run DMC name the same way. You always see 50 name the same way. You know what I mean? So I brand this. I want that to be like that for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. So that's really like the core of my team. You know what I'm saying? That's like, so it's like a very small content unit as far as my company, Top Notch Inc. And obviously now I have new partners that hope, you know, inshallah, take us to even higher levels. So I'm excited about that. But as far as my internal team, those are my internal every day. I'm calling them people 100 times a day, driving them crazy. And they're the reason. They don't always get the credit I get or be on the cover of the magazine with me. But I thank Allah for them, you know what I mean? And I thank them. And I'm glad you got to ask that so I could salute them because I usually don't get asked that. So salute to my team.
I always
you see how I believed in it, that TN on my hand, that's my company. When I first got this done, when I was first getting tatted, like now everybody tatted. I go pick up my son from daycare. His 3-year-olds got tattoos all over now. I'm like, damn.
Wow.
But when I was first getting tatted, you know, 12, 13 years ago, you know, they would tease me. You look like a Mexican. Why you doing that? You're never going to be able to get a job.
Right.
I know I'm not. I never wanted a job. I'm an owner. Everybody says they're a boss. I'm an owner. I'm a boss. Ownership is key. None of these are endorsements. I'm an owner or I'm a partner in it. I don't do endorsements. You can't bring me nothing and say, wear this and we're going to give you this. And you'll never see me say, type in the code so you can get. That's not ownership. That's endorsing. No knock on that.
Right.
But, you know, I wish more people would, you know, get involved in ownership. And I'm preaching it to my youngins, to my team, to everybody. So, you know, we create an owner. I'm an owner.
Well, speaking of ownership and not endorsing, recently in the headlines, unless you've been under a rock, this is the kid from UCLA, Lonzo Ball. You know, him and his father, they have the sneakers out.
Right.
And I guess they were asking Nike for a $1 billion lifetime deal.
As they
turned
should.
them down. Under Armour turned them down. Adidas turned them down. So they figured, okay, fuck it, we're going to put our own shoes out. And they did that, but they put, which caused controversy, this high price tag, well, which some people say is high, depending on who you ask.
Right.
$4.95 retail. How do you feel about that?
First, let me preface this. That's a good word for a rapper from West Philly, right? Let me preface this. That was heavy. But let me preface this by saying I'm initially a little biased because I'm a big fan of black men being owners. I'm a big fan of black fathers. And I also sold the sneaker myself. The Tone Trump Red Label. I did a deal with Bungee Sneaks a few months ago. Shout out to D from Bungee Sneaks, an independent sneaker company, black owned. And when a brother bought me the sneak, the first thing I wanted to do was do a great sneaker and make it affordable. Right. In order for me to even make it the lowest price point I can make, I sold my sneaker for $150. Right. And because I got the greatest, I always tell people I don't got the most fans, I got the best fans and best supporters. Right. You know, people could have 1 million followers, but nobody buys anything they put up. True. I could have 10,000 followers, and 7,000 of them are going to support everything I do. Okay. Mashallah. But what I'm saying is, I sold a sneaker for $150 with a brand nobody never heard of, and I sold out in 11 days. Middle East, America, of course, my neighborhood, hand to hand a few. Canada treated me like a king. Salute to Vancouver, one of my second homes. So what do I look like? I would be hypocritical to be like, the price is too high. Right. You know what I mean? Because I feel like all sneakers probably are overpriced. Like I told you that, you know what I mean? Them Jordans, like, when people look at them Jordans, like, we've been made to believe they're the great, you know what I mean? Like, no, you're right. A lot of money was spent to make it like, you know, so when I see people criticizing Lavar Ball, it just takes me aback. I had a chance to actually, you know, briefly on Instagram, chop it with him about 2 days ago. And I just told the brother, I salute him. You know, I even posted him up, and I got about 70 comments of people basically against me. Right. And the first thing I want to say is 3 days before that, I posted about feeding the homeless.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, what was that? Is that what that was about? That's
I posted about. I said I wish I would have got all this activity under that post when I said I'm raising money to feed the homeless, vegan meals in my hood. You know, I got 2-3 comments on that one. I put up a post supporting a brother who I think is doing something amazing. Right. 70 comments. And it's sad because most of the people look like me and that brother. Right. You know, there's 1 or 2 that didn't, you know what I mean? And, I gracefully said to them, I don't expect you to understand my standpoint. In no way am I saying go buy that sneaker. The only sneaker I've ever told anybody to go buy was the Tone Trump Red Label. Because it was mine. You know what I mean? So when I shoot, like, I'm in G Unit right now with Gucci flip-flops on. Right. Much as I could post wearing them, I never once said go buy them. Right. You know what I mean? Because you know that was in my budget when I got them. It's
Right.
not always in my budget. When it's not in my budget, I might go buy some Nike flips.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know, I might take some from the hotel and wear them for a week. You got to do what's in your budget. So I'm not championing the five. I feel like the media is trying to make us focus on the $500. The media is trying to make us focus on his alleged arrogance because they pick and choose. It's just like with Tom Brady. When Tom Brady yells on the sideline, it's called leadership. When Dez Bryant yells on the sideline, and I hate the Cowboys, but he was just the first person that came to my mind. Dez Bryant yells on the sideline, he's erratic. He's a troublemaker. He's breaking up the chemistry.
Right.
We got to stop being blind. When people say to me all the time, it's not about race. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist because I love people of all races. Islam is about loving everyone. But if you say it's not about race right now with the media, with the country, with sports, with everything, you're either a racist or you're very, very ignorant. Right. Not saying stupid, you're ignorant, which means you just don't know or you ain't living or something. You know what I mean? Like, because where I live at, I've been blessed to live somewhere a little nicer where they treat me a little okay now because they've seen me long enough. But when I first got there, it wasn't like that. And still, when people come visit me, if either one of you brothers was to come visit me, somebody in my neighborhood might just call the police just because how you look. Not knowing you a DJ that done traveled the world, work with artists they listen to every day. You know what I mean? But it's just the world we live in. And we all guilty of it in some way, shape, or form. I'm guilty of it, even by accident. Like sometimes when you know people of other races say to me stuff on social media, the first thing I say back is, "You don't understand." How do I know they don't understand? Right. I'm judging them, so people judge me, and we got to get off of that. So I'm championing LeVar Ball as a black father who's going out there saying my boys are the best. I got a 3-year-old son right now who I feel like I've already see him playing for Kentucky. I see him being one and done. I see him
not Villanova.
Nah, I always wanted, you know, much as I love Nova, much as I love Nova, my vision for him, his homie will tell you, since he came home from the hospital, I was putting him in front of watching BBN, Big Blue Nation, which is Kentucky, and I just seen that for him, and I'll champion him. I'm at This Is 50 right now talking about my 3-year-old being the best 3-year-old point guard in the nation. Right. And LeVar Ball helps inspire that. First time I seen him, I was inspired by that brother. And I'm hoping his son comes to the Sixers. I would love to see Lonzo. I would love to see Lonzo run the point in Philadelphia for the next 12, 15 years. I'm being straight up. I'm not just saying that, but I would love that. And I've never said go buy his $500 sneakers. I'm saying buy into his theory. Imagine in 20 years if all the brothers that's about to be lottery picks are saying, I'm cool with Nike. Everybody talking about Nike turned them down. Under Armour turned them down. Let's start turning them down. You know what I'm saying? Like, why no? Everybody that's speaking about them sneakers being $500, speak about how many black kids have died over Air Jordans for the last 30 years. Right. Without one quote I've ever seen from Michael Jordan. Right. Jordan Brand. Or all the many people who champion Jordans, who've made us love Jordan so much. Right. So before we start talking about, oh, they too expensive, they too high, what sneakers are, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I told you that the Yeezys cost 87 cents to make, and then there's a college kid who's going online to pay $1,700 for them, and I don't see one person complaining about it, when that's Adidas doing that, a billionaire. Right. Adidas ain't nobody's daddy. This boy's daddy. If I do a shirt for my son tomorrow, I can sell it for whatever I want it for. Right. I'd rather me sell it for $100 than Nike sell it for $29.99, and my boy gets 7 cents. Those are prison rates. You see what I'm saying? Right, ask some of the OGs, ask 50 ask 50 what he was gonna get if his album would have went platinum on his first deal with Trackmasters and they was giving brothers 32 cents an album back in them days. When you see rappers now and you be like, why certain brothers fell off? That's why. When you see brothers who had hits, right? We always brag about 50, Puff, Hove. You know how we always focus on them? What about the MOPs? And I'm not saying about them brothers. I don't know. Some brothers are successful and we don't know. But I'm just saying, what about all the MOPs, the Mob Deeps, and all these brothers who got to go to Germany to make a living because ain't nobody here treating them right, and they putting out great projects still. AZ just put out a great project.
I like AZ.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So if AZ gets signed tomorrow to somebody, and now the corporate machine is behind it. Now all of this. Now he's getting his whole look, and now AZ back. AZ back. He getting to it. But now AZ is getting $1.15 an album. AZ out there right now hustling, trapping his own product, getting $11 an album, but don't got the money maybe or the resources to market it like you seeing it. You know what I mean? You're not seeing, as great as Kendrick Lamar album is right now, let's not be fools. We're not seeing that commercial and all that stuff 5 times a day just because he's dope. Right. The Locks was dope, man. The Locks album was amazing. Dope. I don't see that. I didn't see that on every 5 minutes while the playoffs is on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, don't tell me now. Let's not wait and choose when a brother who's loving and championing his sons. Now we talking about price. I'm looking around this room. Nikes, Jordans, Nike Hirachis, Gucci's. Ain't nobody in here got on Shaq's, Walmart sneak, Stephon Marbury's $10 sneak. All y'all know somewhere that sell boo-boos, and y'all all went somewhere and spent at least $100 for a sneak that costs less than $5 to make, including myself.
Right.
So I ain't gonna pick the brother turn. Lavar, boy, I support you 1,000%. Does that mean I'm gonna buy the Big Baller Brand sneaker? I don't know. I might. I'm gonna buy something from that brother though, because that's what we supposed to do. I'm not gonna sit there. And if you don't want to buy it, maybe you don't need to post about how you don't want to buy it. You don't post about how you don't want to buy Balmains or Trues or, you know what I'm saying? Like, just ride through the ghetto and look around, bro.
Right. You said something very powerful. You said that everybody's talking about he turned Nike down. I mean, Nike turned them down, but no, he turned them down.
Right.
So you said, how about we start? How about these?
But that's the slave mentality.
That's the slave mentality.
That's the slave mentality.
Because if you think about it, if I'm Nike, I don't want that. I don't want this to be trending. I don't want the next lottery pick to be like, you know what? I don't want to sign with you. I seen what Lonzo did. I'm coming out with my own
Let's
shoe.
do it like this. What's the most talked about sneaker right now in basketball?
You're right. You're right. My point exactly.
That marketing is priceless.
So you're right. When you put in that perspective, Nike don't.
I'm making my next sneaker $1,000.
Oh, hey, well, listen, I'm coming out with some Thorozanos.
There you go.
They're $2,000 and up.
Why not? Why not? They're going to go buy red bottoms.
And they're going to be green bottoms.
There you go.
Money green bottoms, all right?
There you
that's
go.
what I represent. That's what they're going to be.
And before we get off the sneaker thing, I do want to definitely salute Bungie, because he came into my life at a time where I didn't have, I'm about to lie. I'm about to say I ain't have a lot going on, but I was fresh off Creed, so nah, he came in my life when I was popping. I was about to say, damn, I wasn't doing this and that, but I'm always doing something. So I'm just popping. So, you know, that wasn't it. Shout to Bungie anyway. And we talking. We might be doing a second sneaker, inshallah, so be on the lookout for that. I don't know if it's going to be the red label again. So many people have been begging me to do something. I'm so connected to the color red, but I know people want me to do something else. So I'm going to try to do something real wavy and real sporty. And I'm going to be honest, you know, I tried my best to make my sneaker more affordable. It was no way. For me, selling my sneaker for $150, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, still, you know, everybody's got to get paid. And I wanted a good sneaker. Like, when you look at my sneaker, please, somebody who's, brother, you know, do the cutaway. Tell you, make sure this brother, you know, we link that up. My sneakers are a great sneaker. From the performance socks, I could have did a whole lot different and made it, you know, I used the same patent leather as the Concords. I didn't have to do that. My sneaker was made the same place and Jordan's made. Just like the fake Jordans is made the same place Jordan's made.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People don't,
it's just B grades.
Yeah, right. So just, you know, just wake up, man. And just in 2017, if we're going to talk about ownership and talking about loving our own, if we wake up every day and we got something negative to say about this brother, how can we get mad when somebody else? Now tomorrow, if the cops was to, you know, God forbid, shoot one of his sons, now everybody love him again.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we pick and choose what we want to champion. Man, champion this brother, man. Champion that brother don't mean go buy a $500 sneak. You want an affordable sneak? Why don't you wake up and make one? Draw one. Put one out. Do it. Nothing's impossible.
Right.
If he doing it, you could do it. And people, like you said, Nike turned him down. How did they turn him down if he set the agenda? He went in there and said, I want this for my boy.
Right.
And they must have said, well, we going to give him this. He turned them down.
Right.
You don't get what you deserve. You get what you negotiate. I'd rather sell 1,000 sneaks at $500 a piece and have ownership than sign with Team Jordan. Look at them dudes that got Team Jordan deals. Carmelo, Chris Paul, Westbrook. As much as we love them brothers, who in the hood wear any of these sneakers? Nobody. Everybody wears the old Jordans from back in the day because our culture made them hot.
Right.
I ain't never seen nobody in West Philly with the Carmelo Jordans on. I ain't never seen nobody in Harlem with the Chris Paul Jordans on. You know what I mean? So we so blinded by these brands and this Jordan stuff, man. And Michael Jordan, as great as he is in basketball, I have nothing against that brother. But you know what I'm saying? Like, because he's a black man too, so I don't want to make it like I'm down to him. He getting his billions. I just feel like for years, you know, how many rappers have punchlines about somebody dying or getting robbed over Jordans?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like, come on, that's like that agenda. Like, we know, like I can't prove that he invests in prisons, but I've heard that for so long, and I've never heard him say he don't. You know what I mean? So, you know, and even the rappers who champion him so hard, man, sit him down. Make him tell us, like, because I'm still in the mix. Make him tell us, no, that's not true.
Right.
Because I feel bad because you're nut, you know what I'm saying? And I have wore Jordans before. Now, most of the time now I get them they free anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? Wearing once and throw them on the wire or give them to the shelter. You know what I mean? I don't want them Jones. I'd rather wear the big baller brands than Jordans anyway. Big time. Shout out to Lavar Ball.
I see what you're doing. That's what you're smart.
Real rap.
You're smart.
Real rap.